Good morning, it's Robin. And turkey prices are really down right now. And I want to encourage you to buy a whole turkey and learn to cut it up and process it in different ways. And today I'm going to show you how to cut up a whole turkey. It's really not as hard as you might think. I purchased yesterday a 12-pound turkey for 50 cents a pound. I kid you not, 50 cents a pound. You can't get any other meat at 50 cents a pound, especially right now. So if you'll join me, I'll show you how I'm going to do this. Alrighty then. What we have here is a very good brand name bird that I picked up yesterday. Today is December the 8th, 2023, by the way. And yesterday at my Walmart, these birds ranging between 11 and 12 and a half pounds were 50 cents a pound. I don't know if you'll be able to see that or not. This bird is 11.81, so for all purposes, it's a 12-pound bird. And something else I want you to take a look at, if you have freezer space. Best if used by September 14th, 2025. So today is December the 8th, 2023. So this bird, in theory, could stay in your freezer for 2 years. I wouldn't want to keep one in there that long, but I'm just saying, if you have the ability to keep a bird in your freezer, or if you have a deep freezer, whether it's an upright freezer or a chest freezer, this is a great time to stock up. And maybe even get your, if you do turkey, we do turkey for all of our big dinners. If you get a Easter, because this would be a Christmas bird or an Easter bird, or even Thanksgiving and Christmas and Easter of the following year. So anyway, Butterball is a good standard brand. It's been like the Mac Daddy brand for generations. And when you get your bird, of course, it's going to be frozen. You want to average, you be sure and read. They're real good, all of the companies, not just Butterball, but all of the companies are really good about giving you some basic instructions. And this one will tell you approximate thawing times and roasting times. So they let you know that, let's see, if you thaw a 10 to 18 pound bird, well, a 10 to 18 pound bird is going to feed 6 to 12 people. It can be refrigerated for 3 or 4 days for thawing, okay? So this bird in the refrigerator, it would take 3 to 4 days to thaw completely, so you count your calendar back 3 or 4 days and get it out of the freezer. You can do a cold water thaw in 5 to 9 hours. And what you do is you leave it wrapped, completely wrapped. You put it in a tub of some sort, something that you can cover it with cold water. You change that cold water out about every 30 minutes and put fresh cold water in it. And within 5 to 9 hours, it will thaw. And then in an open pan, if you roast it in an open pan, meaning you don't have a lid on it, it takes 3 to 3.5 hours to cook. Now, these things, a lot of times, I don't know if this one has or not, usually they have those little buttons on them that pops up. Those are just kind of a general guide. Please invest in a little meat thermometer. You can get, little tiny ones or great big ones, but you want to test and make sure that the inside of there's nothing worse than cutting in, thinking it's done because it's brown on top. The skin looks lovely, and then you cut into it and it's not done in the middle. So that has happened to many, many, many a cook in their early days. So this is supposed to be an easy open, easy tear, oh yeah, it is pretty easy. And I have this cutting board sitting on my sitting by my sink. My sink has a drain board on it, and that's where we're going with the juices there. That's what they like to say. The Be Polite company is juices. We know that's not exactly what it is, but we'll call it that. So under the neck, it's going to be your extra bits that you can make your gravies and your stuffings and stuff out of. Come out of there. And usually these companies will package them up like that so that you can get them all at one time. Many a good cook started off leaving these in the bird. That's an old favorite story. There's always a new cook somewhere that their first 1 or 2 birds, they left the stuff inside. Now this bird has the legs tucked under the tail skin here. You just want to pull that down here because we're going to take those legs off anyway, but this is still froze a little bit on the inside, but that's not going to hurt because we're not cooking it today. So here's the tail, and what they've done is they've put a little cut in here, and they've in the skin of the where the tail connects, and they put a little cut there, and they've tucked all this back in here and then tucked the legs in it. And you can do that again and roast it that way. Works perfectly well. But what we've got going on inside here, besides the little ice crystals, and I have a food safe container right there that I'm putting all these parts and stuff in. It's been sterilized. That's the neck. Used to be over here. They tuck it in here because this also goes into your gravy. You cook it down. Get these ice cubes out of here. And that's ice. And so here we have the bird, the skin, the legs, the thighs, the wings. Oop, wings without the tips. They've trimmed the tips off, which is fine too. The tips of the wings aren't all that great. So that's what we have. You have a bird, 12-pound bird, that we're going to leave the wings on until we deal with the breast, because that'll give it stability as we do that. So all we're doing here, now this is a fillet knife, the same kind of fillet knife that you might get to go fishing. If you or your husband or wife like to fish, you probably have one of these stashed somewhere. Get it out, clean it up, scrub it up. Make sure it's sharp. If you don't have one, you can use other knives. It's easier this way. You can pick these up, maybe on sale even, in the sporting goods section once fishing season is over. And we're just going to cut the skin away here around the leg. So you have the leg and the thigh, and we're going to disconnect this at the thigh. Now what I like to do is I like to pop the joint, and I do this with my chickens too. I would rather buy a whole chicken than buy the bits and pieces in the store. I almost never buy boneless chicken of any kind unless it's just an exceptional sale, an exceptionally good buy. So I'm going to pop this joint here. It's cold. There we go. And there's the thigh joint. Right there. See? That's easier than trying to find it and cut it. I can do this without slicing my fingers off because I can't see them. And I'll do it again on this side. Now this cutting board is a food grade plastic board. I forget what it's actually called. There's the thigh bone. And once again, it's draining into the drain board on my sink and draining these juices away. 2 turkey thighs. This in and of itself is enough meat to make a decent meal, combined with, oh, I don't know, mashed potatoes and gravy is always a favorite, of course, mac and cheese. You can put this in a casserole. You can boil it, of course. Scoot over there. Now I'm going to I'm going to cut the breast away from the back. Cut through those bones there, rib bones. Cut through the rib bones on this side. And I'm going to break this back this way. And I'm going to cut through that. This back can be used to make dumplings or stew. And so this breast is starting to look more like what you see at the store that you pay a lot of money for. Pardon me, I've got a little asthma going on here. Now I'm going to take the wings off. May not be able to pop these, they're kind of frozen. I should have let this set out just a little longer. Well, that's not going to work, but that's okay because the joint is here, you know. And really hope I can. It's not going to. All right, so we'll do it the hard way. Not really the hard way, but so I cut that skin back a little bit, and here you see the joint and the ligaments and tendons that's holding it on. And we want to get up and under there. Cut that all away. All right, there's one wing. And now I have a guest that just pulled up and is about to come in the house, so I'm going to have to cut the video short and come back to you in a little bit. See if I can get this off first. All right, there we go. I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, to pick up where we left off, and I apologize for that. There may be a little difference in the camera angle because Dad was here. So what we've got, we have a turkey wing. Actually, we have 2 turkey wings. The breast. Two thighs. And the back. And the tail. And so out of this, obviously, what I'm going to do is I'll be baking the turkey breast or roasting the turkey breast to go to a church dinner tomorrow. So if I was fixing this here at my house, this would be 2 meals worth because each side of the breast or each breast it's got enough meat there for 2 plates. So there's that. And they don't like to stand up like that when they don't have the wings and things. Wings can go in to make a stock, or there's actually on a nice sized turkey, there's enough meat there to add to, any kind of, you could make a turkey salad with the meat off of here, a little bit of turkey salad, kind of like you do a tuna salad. You could Use it in mac and cheese. Of course, you have to cook it up, and then you put it in some mac and cheese and make a nice little dish. And of course, the legs. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the thigh off the drumstick, and the thighs can become meals of their own too. So you cook this up and serve them. You can debone them, make them really good. So I'll show you this, and obviously you can do chickens the same way. The wings are going to be too small to do much with on one single chicken. But when you're separating the thigh, see this little bit of fat here? That usually goes right about the spot where the thigh meets the drumstick. And right in here is the joint, and that's where you want to cut it. And again, I like to just pop these joints. It makes it so much easier to find them rather than digging around and cutting through them. This one's really tough. I think I tried that. Why did I try that a minute ago on? Okay, I think the bone broke instead of the joint. But little fillet knife, be careful, don't be cutting your fingers. Cut that meat, and you'll see I came in just a little high or a little low, depending on your perspective. And there you go. And honestly, each of these can become part of a meal. And if you freeze these separately, you can make a meal out of each of them. Let's see if this one will go better. And obviously you can make stock. When I do my turkey stock, or if I freeze it or keep it in the refrigerator, turkey broth, I bust the big bones. I have a dedicated pair of pliers that I use to crack the big bones after I've roasted them. And they're for kitchen use only. They're not like the mechanics pliers. So, you know, what you've got here, you've got 1, possibly 2, 3. Depends on how you cook it. Oop, where am I at? 4, 5, 6 meals out of this turkey at 50 cents a pound. And maybe more than that, depending on how you cook it. And it beats hamburger. I mean, hamburger is outrageously expensive. What is it, $4 a pound or more? So this is a great way to save money if you have a place to put it in the freezer. If you don't, if you buy it, you get it thawed, you cut it up like this, and then package it and freeze it. Or actually, I'm going to put some of this in my pressure canner. I'm going to can some of the meat, and then I'm going to make stock and stew out of the back and the bones. And I probably, if I can get my meat grinder together, I'm going to probably grind it. I may make a video on that and show you how that goes, and show you how ground turkey is made, which is very simple too. But again, any type of bird, you can do this. And it is so much more cost efficient for your budget to buy these and do this. It does take a little time. You can make it your Saturday project. You can make it your Sunday project. But try it. Try it. Make sure you have a good sharp knife. That always makes it easier. And what do you got to lose? If it doesn't look exactly like what you buy at the store, so what? It's ugly. But I think you'll do very well. And I encourage you to try it. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.